Hey everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to the hashtag Lockboss Show and Giveaway. And I tell you what, we're going to have a little bit of fun today. As you can see, we're going to be talking about ALOA's upcoming convention next month on July 27th and 28th. And to help me out talking about it and talking all things ALOA / convention, maybe a little forward / Las Vegas, we have two special guests, which are going to be Adrian Hawley and John Trumpy. So no strangers to the show here, and excited to have them both on and hanging out. Now, but before we get going, though, I want to give you all a cheers out there. I am double fisting it today, so go easy on me, all right? I got coffee over here. I know it's 4 o'clock Pacific time, but, it's been one of those days. I'm sure you can relate. And then I have some Topo Chico / Zip Fizz with some sort of flavor. I can't remember because I got a sample pack because I want to try all 14 flavors. But anyways, that's what we got going on over here. And take a sip. Cheers all out there. And let's have a little bit of fun. And then, of course, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 lucky winners here in just a little bit. So without further ado, Julio, if you could, I don't know. I'm hoping you at least got the horn fixed over there. Doesn't sound like it. So, I was going to say to give John and Adrian a little something, but I don't know if they want the car horn. But John, Adrian, hey, welcome to the show. So nice to have you back on. Oh, hey, and look at Mr. John Trumpy there. Cheers to you out there with your Topo Chico. Looks like lime style. And we got Adrian with a squirt. Why not?
Oh, that's so going to live on. That is so going to live on, my friend.
I like it. Well, hey, I just want to first say thank you both for being willing to come on and hang out with us here live on the internet. And I'm really excited to chat with you both. But hey, before we go too much further, I'm sure we have some people on here who have not heard or have watched in the past about either one of you being on. So if you wouldn't mind just giving us a quick introduction, maybe what your day job is, and then what your favorite other career is at ALOA and your position there.
I'll let Adrian go first because he is the fastest pinner.
Thanks, John. And PJ, thanks for having us on. Really appreciate the platform. Appreciate what you do. Adrian Hawley in Bozeman, Montana. Small format, interchangeable core pinning champion from a few years ago. Was previously a locksmith up at Montana State University. I've since transitioned out into the downtown realm and have purchased the oldest lock shop in Bozeman, Dave's Lock and Key. You can see behind me there. So I am a locksmith shop owner. And then at ALOA, I am the Northwest Regional Director, and I'm also on just about every committee that the board of directors volunteers me for.
So you did read the email I just sent out.
My name was in a few places, yes.
Yes, okay. And I am John Trumpy. I am the silver medalist in pinning. Although when I tell the story, I say I'm the silver medalist, and my best friend Adrian came in next to last. So it depends who I'm telling. So let's see. Hats I wear at ALOA. I am a AIL Institutional Division President. I am the chairman of the board of ALOA proper. Convention chairman. One of my committee assignments. I'm also president of ASF, ALOA Scholarship Foundation, which BJ, you're always supporting. Just about any job that has to get done in ALOA, either Adrian or I am doing it. So
very cool. Yeah. So we're, for all of you watching, if, of course, if you don't know what ALOA is, it's the Associated Locksmiths of America. ALOA.org is the website, and you have to check it out. But something that ALOA has coming up here next month in just a little over 30 days, I don't know, about 40, 45, 40 days, something like that, is the big ALOA Convention. And this year it is in Las Vegas
yeah,
at the one and only South Point.
yep.
And so, I wanted to just take a few minutes and talk about like why it's been so important to each of you to, want to not only be a part of the organization, but to go to the convention, and kind of like what have you got out of it, or what is something that people should consider going, right? I mean, they may have to be away from their job or their business for a few days. It's going to cost money. I actually just Friday booked all of our tickets and airfare. The only thing I haven't done yet is the badge form, and I know the time's getting short. I need to get that badge form filled out. But
Don't make me send Kelly after you.
yeah. But I mean, there's a good cost associated with going, and so I just wanted to have the two of you on and really talk about why, even though it's going to take you away from your work a little bit, and it's going to cost a little bit of money, that it's something worthwhile to still go to.
Well, I mean, from my experience, I've been going to ALOA for a couple of years now. Let's just say that. I am a little older. And to me, just the experience of ALOA, where else am I on this planet going to be in a building with 1,000 other people who are just as passionate about locks? Let's face it, locks are not a job. You don't become a locksmith to have a job. You love locks. We have a passion. We're all, we love this industry. You don't see electricians. It's a career, but you don't see them getting together. This is an opportunity for me, to just talk to people who are just as passionate in different levels of their career. And, I learned things just from passing people in the hallway. That's number one for me, is just the camaraderie, the friendships. It's like coming home every year when I go to ALOA. I mean, I'll pass you and your father walking down the hall, and we'll just say hi to each other for a couple seconds. And Adrian, how many breakfasts have we just been at this restaurant same time together? And we talk, and sometimes we don't even talk about locksmithing. We talk about family, but then we'll have a similar interest, and it's a one-time opportunity to be with like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to follow up on that, I mean, PJ, I started my career at ALOA in that I took the 5-day course. It wasn't at the convention, but as a part of my apprenticeship with the university, I went to the conventions annually and took classes, 5 days worth of classes. So I was fortunate to be at an institution that valued that education and was willing to pay for me to go and learn. And I've taken that with me. That's why I joined, volunteered to be on the board, was to give back to the organization that I got so much from. But for me, it is expensive. It's difficult as a store owner. It's hard. It's going to be hard for me to be gone. I'm bringing one of my technicians with me for a few days. But what I do see is every time I go, no matter what convention I go to, when I invest in myself, if I really pencil it out over the year, I make that money back in no time at all. And the return on my investment is near immediate from the education standpoint. Not only that, but as John was saying, do I get to see people that I've met in the industry, but I also foster some of those relationships for people that I call on. I call people that I've met at conventions monthly, and say, "Hey, I'm in a pickle here. What do you know about this? Have you done this before?" So not only is it good to go back and visit and rub elbows and have a good time, you're really building your own tool bag to use every day when you're out in the field. And for me being in Montana, there are locksmiths here in Bozeman, and I know almost all of them, but we don't get together and swap stories all the time. We're all out working, so being able to get together with other like-minded individuals, people that are in our profession, in our trade, is really neat. But I think the biggest thing is just that the level of education and the return on investing in yourself is exactly the number one reason to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, something that is a little unique into, there's a lot of industries that have, let's call it like the organizations of the industry will put on, I don't know, 4 to 10 different events throughout the country, right? And so it's a lot easier, I think, for a lot of people to hit these. But when there's like one a year, essentially, when you go to an event like the ALOA Convention, it's like you see the industry in like real life, right? You see all the different maybe vendors that you've used in the past, the different suppliers that you've used in the past or even mad at, whatever it might be. You see the different people, who have written in the Keynotes magazine that you get if you're a member, right? And like all of a sudden it becomes real. And, I think it's one of those cool things that, and it's small enough to where you're able to really engage with whoever you'd like to engage with, right? I've always found people really friendly at the show. So if we could talk about it for a little bit. So in the past, so ALOA starts on a Monday, right? Which is the July 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, we are shifted. Well, the normal schedule, we are shifted one full day. As we've talked in the past, how do we select a trade show? How do we select a location? We're always taking expenses. Well, you have a great room rate at this hotel. You have a great food choices. You don't have to leave the hotel and you can eat for cheap. That's all taken in. And the calendar on this year, booking into this to South Point, and we love South Point because it is a price. It fits our membership prices. We couldn't do our regular dates, so as a service to members, we literally shifted everything over by one day. So normally it'd be like a trade show is Friday, Saturday. This year it's Saturday, Sunday. So so it is shifted by one day of what people are actually normally familiar with that have attended ALOA in the past.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm curious, has ALOA ever done a Saturday, Sunday convention before, or is this the first one?
So we used to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday trade show. And it was the feedback from often the manufacturers, the distributors, yourself. That was like, this 3 days is becoming an awful long time for me to be standing on this show floor. So what we did, at the same time, when you cut out a day, you also don't want to cost you and the attendees any less face time. So we actually, if you look back at the old calendars, it was Friday. It was kind of like a half a day Saturday, and then Sunday was a slightly shortened. Now we do the two longer days, so you still get the amount of time that you had with people, but it's just condensed into 2 days.
Okay.
So, yeah, we used to do a Friday. We used to do a week long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There was actually classes Friday morning. So that was the ALOA of old.
Yeah. And so have you gotten much feedback from people? Like, are they excited to try it? Have they found it helpful, or are they wishing it was different, or has it been just a pretty neutral?
No one has screamed and hollered that I know of yet. But I'll be walking the show floor, talking to attendees, talking to every booth person, and we'll get the feedback. And if it really is like people like it, this may become the norm. But if people don't like it, we will re-explore going back to the Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people, so we also have what they call the driving crowd, which is the 100-mile circle around any convention city. A lot of them like coming on Friday, or if they're working for an institution or something like that, if they go on Friday, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
It's work day. So is that going to change on a Saturday, Sunday scenario? We're not sure. We'll be doing the postmortem we always do, and we'll be collecting all that. You'll see. I'll be at your booth at some point. You know that. Asking you what we did right, what we did wrong. Adrian will be standing over by the sales booth, dragging people in, doing the exact same thing, getting feedback. It's I know ALOA is sometimes disliked for unknown reasons. Oh, well, you did this 20 years ago and I'm still mad at you. There is not a person on this board or on the staff that is not open to any ideas. We are dedicated to the members, whether it's the trade show or the association in general.
Absolutely. So now everyone who's watching, so if you have questions, by the way, put them in the comments. I see there's a few coming in here. We'll answer, or I'll ask here in just a few minutes. But I want to hit on a couple things, John, and you talked about, like, so for us, like, it's really nice. The pricing of the hotel at South Point is very reasonable. And the flights, I've always just encountered great flights to Vegas, right? So we have a direct flight in Friday morning. Like we'll hit the ground, I think, at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. It's a perfect time to set the booth up. And then we're flying out Sunday night at, I think, 9:30 at night on the last flight out. And so being able to do direct flights like that, and it's pretty, I think our all out the door for 6 people was like $4,500 or something like that, which, all things considered, is pretty reasonable compared to, we've definitely been to a few of them that's like double that for 6 people. So that's nice. So hopefully a lot of people have good success like we have, being able to book good flights and do all of that sort of thing to attend. And if
you own a business, it is a tax write-off. I come from the institutional world; it's not. But if it's a business, it's a business expense. So, Las Vegas that Uncle Sam helps pay for, that seems like a nice win-win.
It is. Las Vegas is the one convention that we go to here that everybody wants to go. Right? Everyone's like, hey, direct flight, it's Las Vegas, all that kind of stuff. So that's fun.
Las Vegas is always our number one show.
Yeah.
It is our best attended show.
So we have Jimmy J with Iowa Lock Doc. Jimmy, how you doing? It says, don't they alternate every other year? There's got to be cheap flights to Vegas from, and I think he's talking to someone else. So do you alternate every year?
So officially, ALOA is on a 3-year cycle between Las Vegas and sometimes it has been Reno, something on the East Coast, which always puts us south because you can't actually do a convention in the North, which is ironic because that's where our largest membership is in the Northeast. But in the Northeast, in the summer, is when every major city, Boston, New York, and all that, is having their boat shows and stuff like that. You just can't. It wouldn't be in our members' price range. And then we used to do a central, which was usually Chicago. We've done some. We did a Dallas at one point. And we are exploring that option again because we do want to represent, hit each area. But after the pandemic and stuff, the same as every business owner and everybody else in the world took financial stresses, we kind of said, well, for right now, we're going to settle on the 2 large draws, which is Las Vegas, because as you said, all your staff wants to go to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And Orlando, because a lot of our members also make this into a family vacation. So if you've got young ones, Mickey's World is Mickey's country is the place to go if you have younger ones. And, Las Vegas is, the place for, happy wife, happy life. Or lead to a divorce, one or the other, depending on what you do in Sin City. But it is a give and take.
John, do you by chance have any examples of this? You want to
happy life, happy wife, happy life?
I feel some confession music.
I know. I know. Yeah. I mean, hey, John, if you need it, we can get Julio on, and we can all share our Vegas stories.
You've met my other half, and I don't know if she's ever happy, but that's she apparently she doesn't have.
I'm waiting for the stick to come flying in.
Oh, that's good. And on the positive, so something that's really been cool for us is there's been so many people who have interacted with us through YouTube or social media, part of the Lockboss community, and or customers of ours who have went to the show and we've gotten to meet in person, hang out. I mean, we've already got requests from people that they're like, hey, I'm going to be in town. Would love to be able to hang out with you guys outside of, the show hours, any possibility. And we're like, yeah, absolutely. Right. We would love to. It'd be fun. And, it's always a good time when you get the Lockfather involved too, by the way, do you want to hear a funny story really quick? Actually,
always.
So this is in Orlando, okay? And the Lockfather has always had a way with getting himself in weird situations. And we're in the hotel, right? We got done with the show. We went and changed, and we were going to go out to dinner. And we're waiting to get into the elevator, and the elevator opens up. There's people on it, and this lady comes out. I'm pretty sure intoxicated, and she starts kind of like getting frisky with the Lockfather, and she was like, hey, you look like a guy who likes to have fun, and starts kind of getting touchy, and he's like, whoa, sitting there. But the rest of the staff was just like, did we just see that actually happen? But that is the Lockfather. And okay, I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more ALOA Las Vegas story with the Lockfather. I think he's watching on here, and he'll be on next week, so he can get me back for this one. But so the year before I wanted to actually go to ALOA as an exhibitor. I was like, hey, it's probably smart just to go down there. It was in Vegas and just walk the show, and like see like, okay, what do people, what do booths look like? What all that look like. So we go down there and we stayed at the time at the Circus. It sounded cool. And then we went there and it was interesting, but we stayed at the Circus, and the Lockfather and I, I mean, we've always been a couple guys that, getting a walk in or so definitely wouldn't hurt our figure. And so, where was this at? It was at Mandalay Bay, I believe, is where the
longest trip to a convention ever, even from the host hotel.
Yeah. And so they're like, hey, let's walk. It was early in the morning. And so we start walking and it was already getting hot, I mean, it was summer. And we get about where do we get to? New York? No. I can't remember exactly where we were. Planet Hollywood, somewhere around there. And we're tired and we're starting to sweat a little bit, and we're like, hey, let's go get some water. So we go in, and is what the Lockfather found was that beer was cheaper than water. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I am not buying water if it's more expensive than beer, And so I get a water. He gets one of these tall, one of those like really tall beers. And we hop back on the strip, keep walking up to the show. And the Lockfather, he likes to drink everything fast. So he guzzles this beer, okay? Just guzzles this big thing. And we get close to Mandalay Bay, and the Lockfather's like, oh, man, I'm getting dizzy. He's like, I think I'm dehydrated by drinking that beer, and so I had to go get him some water. He had to sit down and sober up a little bit before we went to the show. So,
oh God.
Oh, yeah, he has a good father-son memory story,
Quality time.
Quality time.
But then even after you hit the Mandalay Bay, you had to walk all the way across, past a wall you didn't necessarily want to take kids past, if you remember.
I do.
There were certain body parts as you walked through, so that wasn't necessarily. It is Vegas; it's not necessarily kid friendly. Circus is a great kid friendly place, and that was quite the walk, even after you made it to the hotel. So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So
what do you think of South Point? What do you think of South Point?
I actually really like South Point. It's easy to get to, and rooms are decent. A decent amount of restaurant choices there. It's a pretty quick trip down to the Strip if you want to go down there, and I don't mind it at all. I mean, the price is good, especially when we do 4 rooms. I'm definitely always looking to get as inexpensive as possible, really, right? Everyone else. So the people who went to Vegas with us a couple of years ago who are coming again, they're all excited. They're like, hey, it's nice. The convention is literally right there. Come down the elevators, walk over, and you're there. So,
where else can you have? I mean, you got 2 bowling alleys, 1 public. You have a movie theater, food choices of anything you want, from very reasonable to, 5-star fine dining. Depending, you may have a rodeo. The one year they had the indoor shooting, rodeo shooting event on the other end. So,
yeah, I think it's a good place. I mean, I'm assuming both you and Adrian both like it.
Yeah, and it's our members seem to like it, but we always ask. And since you brought up the Mandalay Bay one, that's what to compare from prior years. And it is real easy to get to. It's come out of the airport, make a left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that of all of the different convention cities I've been to, whether that be SAFTA or ALOA, the South Point has probably the best all around experience in house. Right? I mean, you literally do not have to go outside or off the property. If even if you're there for 3, 4, 5 days or more. I mean, gosh, I'm going to be there for way more than that. But yeah, I don't ever feel like I have to leave. Whereas some of the other places we've been to, if you want something other than pricey hors d'oeuvres at the bar, you got to get in a car and go somewhere, which isn't always a bad thing. But if you're being budget conscious, yeah, South Point's got, you can go down and get a cheeseburger and French fries for what you would pay regular cheeseburger and French fries. It's not a $20 burger. So
yeah.
If you notice in Orlando, we've been to Orlando 3 years. But if you notice, we've been in a different hotel every single time.
Yes.
So we like the city. The members like the city, but there is no comparison for a hotel in Orlando or any other city really that you can get in the South Point.
Sure.
And it's also for the people who are watching, if this is your first convention, that's ideal. It's all there. And the other thing is, when you're sitting at the bar sitting at the place getting your cheap burger, there's going to be someone who does the same thing you do daily, sitting 2 booths over, that you can start a lifetime friendship with.
Yeah. It is very true. So, hey, if you're watching, you still have time. You can still get a good flight, and you can still get a ticket and get in, and there's classes available before. And I think all 3 of us would highly recommend that you going and participating in an industry event like this would be very beneficial for you. And it'd be fun. I mean, all 3 of us will be there, and you can at least, at minimum, come hang out with one of us.
Yep.
Indeed.
So, and but yeah. Well, John and Adrian, hey, it's been
early bird ends June 30th.
Got a week.
You got a week.
A little less than a week, actually.
Very cool.
And
yeah,
flights are always cheap in the Las Vegas because there is no ground fees for the airlines. That's why it's cheap in Las Vegas.
Yeah, see a flight in here. Yeah, $187. I mean, yeah, it's awesome. A round trip ticket. That's good stuff. Yeah, it's always a good time. I know.
The casinos pay the fees that every other airline has to pay in every other city.
Really?
Yep.
Well, it's very cool. Yeah, it's it's just a lot of fun. I'm personally, and I know all of us here, are looking forward to not only going and being at the convention, but Identikey's going to be out any day now, and I know we'll have a lot of fun talking with everybody at the show about it. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So, but well, John, Adrian, thank you both so much for coming on and hanging out, and for all the volunteering that you do at ALOA. So, appreciate you both, and look forward to seeing you both in person.
For Adrian, remember, convention goes all the way through Tuesday for us.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Well, after everybody goes home, we have to stay for our board meetings, and committee assignments, and
Man, I bet you by then I'm like, are you guys fairly exhausted?
We're almost rabid at that point, but it gets us motivated, and it's right after talking to members and right after getting feedback, and looking at budgets and looking at it. So it's a good thing, and we're all friends on the board too. So we all week long, the ones that come in for classes or come in to help with staffing, we're all talking all week. So it's a long 10 plus days for us. For some of us, not all the board is in for 10 days. But it is, I'm an instructor for the first 3 days, and then, each duty changes. Adrian, I think you're coming in early, right?
Yeah, I'll be there early to help out. I believe I'm going to be a part of a couple of evening seminars. Something that we're bringing back this year, the evening seminars, so free to members. Extra education, right? Free education. Stuff on master keying, tools of the trade, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for those things coming.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait, and I really appreciate both of you coming on and hanging out with us here live on the internet here for a little bit. So,
PJ, have you entered the new app into the new product?
I have.
Okay. Just checking.
Absolutely.
I don't ask about those things until I get there, and then Adrian and I go and wrestle the election box out of people's hands and.
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we actually just got, I think it was it today? I saw we just received our, foam board display to put in that, section. So, yeah, I mean, hey, we're definitely hoping to bring home a win there this year. So I know
there is a reason just to come to ALOA for all your viewers to come just so they can vote for your app. Right there is a reason.
Absolutely. Yes. Come, please vote. And then, come over, hang out. Of course, the Lockfather is going to be there. So, so many people, one of the coolest things for me is when we're there, so many people like to come and hang out with my dad a little bit and kind of pick his brain as someone who's been in the industry longer than I've been alive. And who is still actively, has his 3 lock shops and all of his service techs and all of that. And it's really cool to see people interact with them. And I know he loves helping as much as he can. So it's always a good time.
I always shake his hands first, if you remember.
I don't blame you, I don't blame you one bit. So, yeah, it's really fun. Having him there, and of course, I've been having my oldest daughter came last year. She'll be coming again, and it's like a little family booth over there with that.
It is,
and
your booth always is fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll try to have a good time. But well, anyways, hey, thank you again. Thank you both once again hanging out, and I look forward to seeing you guys next month. And hey, if you're on the fence thinking about doing it, go ahead and do it. Come hang out with us, have a good time. And if you regret it, we can formally submit complaints to John. How about that?
If you regret it, let me know. What did you regret? We will, we are always open for talking to members, feedback on all this kind of stuff. ALOA is not static. It constantly is changing. And to meet what the requests of our members are.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you do go and you do like it, you have to tell everyone that it was Adrian's idea. Okay.
Well, if you give me a good idea, Adrian will be assigned to that committee.
Yeah, that's right.
As he learned when he opened the last email from me. His name will appear. I think I listened to you first this time, did I not? Yep.
Yeah. Invest in yourself. Invest in your future. Invest in your business. Invest in yourself. You can't go wrong. Thank you, PJ, for the platform. Really appreciate it.
PJ, you're a huge supporter of ALOA. We greatly appreciate it also.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great hanging out with you guys here for a little bit. So I'll let you both go and have, I guess, Adrian, it's dinner time over there for you. And John, it's getting probably close to bedtime over there where you're at.
Well, I might be on the couch tonight after she heard me, but, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's good, guys. Well, hey, thank you again, and we'll see you. All right, everybody. Well, hey, that was fun. I tell you what, love having them on. Great guys, and I really hope that you'll join us this year down in Vegas at the end of the month. So it'll be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and pop in here, and let's go go over the posts of the week, comment of the week, and then, of course, announce this week's 5 lucky winners. So let's go ahead. Julio, get some music fired up and have a little bit of fun. Here we go. Posts of the week. Oops. This one comes from PR Marshall. PR Marshall says, "Thank you, CLK Supplies, for such a awesome gift. I figured what a better way to spend the winnings than on something that will last a lifetime. And with a little left over, I was able to pick out a few things that I had been on the list. I truly appreciate all the support you give to our Lockboss community. Keep up the great work." Well, hey, PR Marshall, first of all, thank you so much for sending the photo in. And yeah, so you got the bullseye jig there and the Big Easy night light, lots of good stuff. The big bro, some pin and tweezers, really like it. And yeah, good stuff. Next up, this one comes from Jeff from HKS Systems Lock and Safe. Says, "Thank you so much for the great stuff. I really enjoy it. I'm 75% a safe guy, or I'd buy much more stuff from you. Still always giving back to the locksmith trade and helping educate and train the next generation. And sometimes this generation really helps keep the trade growing." Absolutely, Jeff. Hey, thank you so much for commenting, being part of the community, and for the photo, of course. So very cool. All right, here we go. Comment of the week. This one comes from Sherelle. Sherelle says, "Great discussion, PJ. I was thinking those small differences don't matter too much for Kwikset, but when you reminded me of the rounded bottoms, so yeah, that's a big reason right there. Also didn't realize the OEM Schlage pins are nickel silver. After learning about SFIC, I've tried to be conscious about my key verse pin metals. Thanks for this. Hashtag Lockboss." Yeah, absolutely. You know, those are great points, Sherelle, and I want to dive deeper in this on a recap episode. But yeah, so one of the big things, you know, that I wanted to point out with a lot of the comments was on this video, which is talking about the, you know, a question that came in asking the difference between specific OEM type pinning kits and then universal is, you know, and I highlighted, you know, the 5,000 is off quite a bit, the 3,000 not so much when it comes to Kwikset. But something you want to keep in mind, though, is that if you are, let me see if I do that. There we go. If you're jumping out of the gate here with a 0.001 difference on the pin that you should be using, and then you stack in a key that maybe has been duplicated several times throughout the year, and then it's not quite on as well, that's where you really start getting into this difference. And then maybe you have to do a little master keying, and then it gets a little more squirrely. And so it's one of those that a lot of times a brand, you know, a code cut key with a 0.001 difference, although not ideal, you probably won't really feel anything. But you start entering in a worn key that's off maybe a 0.001 or heaven forbid a 0.002. That's when, you know, you can start stacking that up against yourself and you can run into problems. So, but yeah, thank you so much for all the different comments you guys posted on this video. And I'm going to deep dive into a little bit more on this when I do a recap video, because there's a few other really good points so many of you made and that I'd like to kind of talk about and highlight a little bit. But all right, so there we go. And let's go ahead and get on to this week's 5 lucky winners. Now, what to do if you win? You want to email us your shipping info to sales@clksupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win? Just comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. Winner number 1 is J.I. Foley, 6946. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is Joshua Hopkins, 421. Joshua, congratulations. Winner number 3 is Kevin Gadget Eastman 7531. Congratulations. Winner number 4 is Brian Cords 2450. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Lamar's 5933. Once again, congrats to all the 5 lucky winners. Make sure you email us in and we'll get your gifts sent out soon. For sure. Of course, we have our Lockboss Patriotic Tee going on right now with orders, which you can purchase separately if you'd like. But even better, you can get it for free on orders over $434.34. So many of you have been taking advantage of this. And I just want to say thank you either for the purchase and or the orders that you've been giving us. So yeah, so there you have it. That is this week's show. I tell you what, it's always great to have John and Adrian on hanging out. And well, what do we have to look forward to? Hopefully, okay, let's do a little housekeeping here for a second. No matter what, we plan to submit identikey to the App Store on Thursday. Okay, that's the drop dead. Okay, so that's what we're going for. Actually, all the information is already submitted and all of that. So we're really hoping to be to where we need to be soon. So like I said, maybe I should clarify that a little bit. So everything is submitted into the app stores right now outside of the file. Okay, so that'll be submitted no later than Thursday. Found a pesky little bug literally hours before we were submitting it. And we're just trying to get that buttoned up a little bit. If we don't, we're going to release it anyways, because you probably won't even notice it. So, yeah, that's what we got going on with that. I know so many of you have been calling and emailing and asking, and I just want to say thank you so much for your enthusiasm about it and your wanting to download it and use it. And I even know in the chat here, some people were talking about they've sent us in some photos that we've identified it with it, but yeah, so it's been working good. It's been pretty cool. Doug Kimber, hey, how's it going? Says PG should give a promo discount to identikey to all ALOA attendees. So yeah, so we actually have something in store a little bit for that. Not a discount on the app. I mean, it's only $1.99 a month, but yeah, we have something for you. Okay, coming for that. So yeah. Should be a lot of fun. Just thanks again for everyone's interest in it. And man, I just can't wait to have everybody try it, and more importantly, find the keys that you're looking for with a breeze. So something cool I saw today that was submitted was a Sergeant, like think S22 head with a KW1, a quick set blade. I've never seen that before. Now, cool part is identikey got it right, which was awesome. But that's something I'm like, I don't, where did that thing come from? Was my question. What key manufacturer is doing weird things with keys is my question when it comes to that one. But yeah, so there we have it, everybody. Julio, let's go ahead and put on, I don't know, a little bit of music, and we'll end the show. But I tell you what, we'll be back same place, same time next week. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out. I can't believe we went for about 50 minutes today. Crazy, crazy stuff. So everyone out there, have a wonderful and safe Tuesday evening, and we'll see you later.